Let's see, we're all up and going. Let's see, make sure music is happening. Sounds like doing so good. Cool, getting that going there, so I'm going to turn my phone off. Cool, howdy guys. So, as the title suggests, I picked up a new haul of camera gear yesterday. Some pretty random stuff in there, some pretty cool things, some pretty new things. Some new lenses, some new little bits and pieces, odds and sods for the collection. Some of it's absolute junk, some of it is quite useful, fills a lot of holes in the collection, fills a lot of holes in my the things I need for my own personal projects. So I'm going to be keeping stuff, I'm going to be selling a whole bunch of it. Just thought I'd go live while I'm sorting it out, figuring exactly what I need. Going to be going through my collection that's there as well and kind of figuring out what I want and what I'm keeping, just to tie to the collection a bit, because I'm starting to get a few just double ups and stuff that I don't need anymore. So just thought using the time to go live and have a chat, answer any questions anyone's got, and get some coffee into me, and we'll go through it. So I suppose I did put a video up, or was going to put a video up on a few of my social media platforms. I put it up on here last night as well, about this particular lens. I'm going to have to flick back to my streaming platform so I can actually see what I'm seeing live. So this a little beauty here. So this is actually a 400mm lens, sorry. I'm thinking 800mm because I got a magnifier. Got a 2x magnifier so you can see if the camera's going to play for us. It's a 400 f6.3. So it's a screw mount, as you can see at the end there. Fits on all of the old Pentax, which I've got quite a few of. So fits onto little Spotmatic Pentax, which is what will probably get used on primarily. I would like to get a mount, or a conversion mount that can fit onto my Canon. I'm a massive Canon shooter, is my favourite, so if I can get it to fit onto there I will, but for the moment it will work on the Pentax. So in amongst a bunch of the stuff I got yesterday, there was a few sort of like 2x telephoto magnifiers, a few macro magnifiers, or macro attachments and stuff, which one big thing I want to do with my film photography was start doing some macro work. So that will fill a nice little hole in my personal project scene of actually having something to do macro photography with, which will be cool because there's a few guys that do macro photography with the film, but not a huge amount. So it'll be a cool little thing to get into. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some lenses. I'll point the camera down so you can see it, but there is that box, and a milk crate around the side. Stuff. Okay, so a couple of things. So there's literally everything under the sun. So the main cameras I picked up yesterday, both of these are going to need some work, not in the greatest of conditions. The body of this one's actually pretty good. Now, I've never actually seen one of these before, so it was kind of cool to see. It's called a Litomatic 3. If it's going to show up for us. So Litomatic 3 Beauty. Ooh, beauty. It's actually a light sensor around the lens itself. It does then have a little light meter needle up the top. The body itself, as you can see, is in pretty good condition. It's not too badly beaten up, it's not too badly worn. It's in pretty good nick. The biggest problem is I'm not sure if someone's just forced it or whether it's had a hit. Not sure if you're going to be able to see it on camera. Yeah, you can kind of see the little gap there in the lens. I'm actually going to have to take that apart. I've got to figure out how to get into there and take it apart and see if I can fix whatever the mechanics are in there. Obviously I'll give the whole body a clean down, re-glue all this leather and stuff down. So from what I can tell and what I've been able to figure out, to get to the lens I'm actually going to have to take this leather cover off. There's not really an easy way getting in to the lens itself. There is sort of some notches inside that you can unscrew, but I don't think that's actually going to unscrew the lens. I think it's just going to unscrew the back element. There are a few tiny little pinhole screws around, like little grub screws, that may just loosen the actual rings there. But that's one thing I will do a video on that, of how I'm going about taking it apart, sort of a breakdown and stuff like that, so you can have a look at that when I do it. But that's the Lithomatic 3. Pretty cool little one. Japanese in origin, from what I can tell. Haven't actually seen anything. If anyone knows anything about it, anyone's seen it before, give us a yell, because I'd love to hear if you've used one before or anything like that. The lens itself, so the problem is that little gap. I'm not sure if someone's forced it. I'm not sure you can quite see. You can see the elements in there. Little butterflies are all sort of jammed shut. But looking in the elements itself, like there's no mold, the actual glass looks pretty clear, so if I can get that to work, that'd be a cool little one in the series. From what you can't take that lens off, you can't adjust it, so it will just be that fixed, the fixed length lens, which from memory, it's a 45mm, so pretty standard for the 35mm film. 45 to 50mm or 45 to 55 is sort of generally what they come with. So the fact that it's fixed on that, it's not a massive issue. One of the other cameras I got was this Yashica Telelectric. So again, 35mm. This one does need a bit of cleaning. It seems to function fully. I'll just take the case off. Here's the back of it so you guys can see. So, Yashica, it is the Teal Electro. So, all in all, it seems to mechanically work okay. I've got it on bulb at the moment, but if we flick that around to 500, so it does seem to mechanically work okay. Butterfly goes, everything kind of moves. There's no mold. No mold in the lens, just a bit of dust on there at the moment. A little flick on the glass. It's okay. It's has got a cover on there. This is a screw mount lens as well. So and take it off. The little foam pads and stuff across the top there are a bit worn. Don't think it's going to make a huge difference to the actual functioning. What it shouldn't do, because that's not light sensitive through there. It is a little bit, but might get a bit of a light leak. I don't think it's going to be a huge amount, but I've got foam similar to that floating around. I may have to redo the seals on this, because they do look, even in the back, they look a bit sketchy. They're very mouldy, and I think touching them is going to fall apart, to be honest. So I will end up stripping this one down again. I'll take it apart, I'll clean it, I'll do a video of me cleaning it, so you can see the back. There's a lot of mould around here, a lot of corrosion with chrome, and you can see, if you look, so you can see there's mould on the seals and stuff up here, and even there you can feel they kind of got that gritty to them. So I will most probably strip that one down, clean it up, and we'll see how it goes. Again, I'll try and run, so there's bits of foam kind of stuck down here where it's come off the top where it attaches, so that will have a lot of light leaks. I will strip that one down. I'll do a video stripping it down, cleaning it, putting it back together. I do have adhesive foam that I've used before when I redid my RB67 Big Mouth, the 120 format. I do have leftovers of that, and I know where I can get more of it. So I will strip it down and I'll clean it up, put new foam on it, put new foam seals on it, see if we can stop light leaks, and run a film through it and see how we go. So that's the Yashica TL Electro. Again, haven't used that before. So if anyone's seen it before, used it before, give us a yell. Curious to see what you think, or if you've used it, you know, what your thoughts are on it. I'm getting a little collection of cameras over the side here. Need finished coffee. This is the other camera I got. More along the lines of like the 300, EOS 300, EOS 500. So it's the Pentax MZ50. So more of that ilk of sort of the early 90s from memory. Same sort of era as the Canon EOS 300, 500, which I'm more akin to, more knowledgeable of. But Pentax 35mm, not about nick. Like you can see it's pretty clean all around. I have to get some batteries for it. I've got one that takes CR2 batteries. This one takes 2. I do have my old Pentax little point and shoot that took 1. I tried to double up with one of the old batteries, but I think the old battery was just too dead, and it wouldn't register at all, so I couldn't get it turned on. So fingers crossed the electronics work in it. We won't know yet. This one again, take the lens off. Pretty clean inside. The foam and everything all looks pretty good. You can see all the man, it's hard to get into focus. You can see all the felt in there's all still in pretty good nick. Mirror's locked up at the moment because it's obviously battery and everything's not turned on, so I can't unlock it. Everything else looks pretty good though. Like the seats look pretty good. The lens itself looks pretty good. There's no mold or anything in there. Doesn't look like it's been used that much, and it's got sort of a bit of whitening in the rubber, but that's just age and oxidization. It's not sort of overuse or anything. So that one looks like to be half decent. It'd be a pretty little addition. So I don't mind the Pentax. I primarily take Canon, like I primarily shoot Canon, and I prefer shoot Canon. That's just me. I've always been a Canon. Never really had anything else other than the old Spotomatics. But yeah, it comes with the 20-80 lens on there. Also came with the other kit lens, which is a 100-300. So again, the actual lenses themselves, a bit dirty on the front, but it actually doesn't look too bad. Like there's no mold or anything in there. It's a newer lens, newer camera, so obviously hasn't been in storage for as long. Oh my goodness, I have a runny nose. That's so terrible. I have to grab a tissue in a second. So you can see that the elements and everything's kind of actually quite clean there. The seats are pretty good, like all the seats aren't too worn. It hasn't been used very much at all by the look of it. So that'll be a good little one to test out as long as the electronics work. I'll pick up some batteries tomorrow morning, or tomorrow at some point, and we'll test that out. As long as the electronics work, I'll put a thing through it. Lens caps are a bit dodgy though, that's any problem. Yeah, just getting, yeah, you can see that. One side of the lens cap's gone. The old plastic springs are useless. They kind of just sit there. So I will be keeping that one for the minute. So I'll pop that one there. So that was the 3 cameras I got. You got the Yashica, the Lightomatic, and the Pentax MZ50. Again, if you've used any of those 3 cameras, give us a yell. I haven't used any of them before. I will probably be putting like some Ilford HP5 through it, some ISO 400 film, or some Portra 400 through both, or through all 3 of them, just to kind of see what they come out like. That's all the cameras I got. Onto lenses. So I said I did a breakdown of this one, the 400. Biggest problem I have, there's an element that sits about here. It's pretty simple, literally 3 elements. There's 2 that sit there in a little capsule, and then there's 1 that sits up the front here, a bigger one up the front. They're literally the only 3 elements in it. Unfortunately, in between these 2 there was some water. The lens itself looked really good. There was a bit of water in between the 2 elements at the back here, so I had to do a strip down yesterday. Obviously want to get it done as quick as possible. I had to strip down the elements in there take it all apart, strip the lens down, take those two elements out, clean them. Problem was the water had been there for so long, had actually etched the surface of the glass, like the fungus had actually etched the surface of the glass. I did trial and error, went through a whole bunch of stuff, lens cleaner and eucalyptus oil and acetone, or to non-alcoholic acetone, to nail polish remover. It was a case of it can't get any worse, so what's the worst going to happen? Old toolmaker's trick for polishing. Rather than actually using a polishing grit, actually used toothpaste, finger, and a cotton bud was what ended up working, and it's actually come out. It's hard to see because it is such a big lens. If I point at the white of my shirt, you might be able to see. There you go, look at that. It actually came out a hell lot better than I expected. It's actually quite clear. I don't know if you're going to be able to see magnification, probably going to let you see it. There you go. You can see it's actually quite clear. There's a few very faint spots in it, a few very faint sort of rust, etch marks or where the mold was. I don't think it's going to be enough to affect the photos though. It's not a crystal clear lens anyway, so it's never going to be, a Canon L series perfection. But it's actually it's come really quite clear, so it should be good enough to use. As I said, one of the things I'll grab it in a minute, I did get a 2x magnifier, telezoom magnifier, so mounted to that can make it into an 800mm lens, which, on the old Pentax is going to be kind of cool. The Pentax Spotamatic, I'll get it on there. I want to get it out when the boys start playing baseball in winter season. Actually need to get out and try and get some telephoto shots of them playing baseball with a film, which would be kind of cool. But we'll see how we go. So got a whole bunch of lenses. So that was the sort of big one that I really wanted. There is a lot of lenses and a lot of stuff that I got yesterday. Okay, to go through some of it, so a whole bunch of extension tubes. So these we can put onto, they're all screw mount, they all fit onto for example, they all fit onto this screw mount. So they'll go onto all my Pentax lenses. If I can get the adapter, as I said, to go onto my Canon, they will fit onto there as well. 3 different sizes in that one. Actually got a couple of different extension tubes. That one, which is just the straight up extension tube. I did also get, so that's one that fits the screw mounts. I did also get a bunch of so this is a telephoto converter, but it's a Minolta. I don't know if you're sure if you can see it. It's actually a Minolta mount. So I'm going to see if I can get an adapter for the Minolta. Most probably try and get it from the Minolta to the Canon, because I want to use the Canon the most. It's my favourite camera. Just because it's Canon. But I'll see if I can get it to that. Otherwise I'll see if I can get the screw mount. If I can get it set and get it for the Pentax as well, I will. Yeah, I got that one. I got another 2x for Minolta MD adapter, so I've got literally 2 of those slightly different makes. One's a Benny Auto and one is a Pro Mura. Not sure pros cons of the two, but they're both a 2x teleconverter, so go figure. I also got, where are the other teleconverter? Right in front of me. Still in box. Got never actually seen this brand before, Iterex. Again for Minolta MD. There's a 31, a 21, and a 13mm extender. All bayonet type fittings. So yeah, again, if I can get the converter, you can see them. They're like brand new. I don't think they've ever been used, to be honest. Not even scratches on the mounts on any of them. I've taken them all apart and had a look. Mounts are all absolutely brand spanking new, so yeah, they've never actually been used. So if I can get a converter from the Minolta to the Canon or the Pentax, I'll definitely be keeping those ones and using them. These two, I'll keep these just because they're. And the Promura looks like a better one. It does have a bit of slack in there though. Just in the actual mount itself. There's a bit of slack in there. I don't think it's going to affect anything because it's just a little spin wheel, like the outer adapter section. Don't think that's going to affect it at all. But again, I'll see how it goes. And these ones do have scratches and stuff on them. I'm not sure if it's going to focus for us to show. No, camera's not going to cooperate with us. But there is scratches. You can see there's wear marks of scratches. They have been used, but I said those Idarex ones have never been touched. I think the Benny Auto, yeah, you can see the Benny Auto. The Promura. The Benny one's definitely the Promura as well. You can see there's wear marks on there from where it has been used. So I've got those extension tubes. There was another set of extension tubes somewhere. Can't find them. And then just the straight. They'd be the same sort of sizes as well. Be like be very similar to what the Idarex ones are. So the Idarex were, I did say it a second ago, completely forgotten it. 31, 12, 13. Looking at it, I have to measure them, but be very similar in size. Sort of 30, 20, 10, 30, 20, 12, something like that. But yeah, they're about the same size. So those ones already go straight onto the Pentax. So I can use those straight up now. The other thing that I got, a lot of lenses, which is really cool. This one I'm really excited about. So this one, again, bayonet fitting, and it is not bayonet, sorry, screw fitting, APS Auto Tele Plus 2X. So that's a screw fitting that will go straight under here. So my 400 now becomes an 800mm. Sweet. But the thing is with that, I've got so many different lenses with that on the Pentax. I pretty much fill every focal distance lens range that I need. So between that and the lenses, and I've got a couple of wide angle lenses yesterday as well, pretty much cover every spectrum I need from about 28mm up to 800mm, which I'm freaking stoked about, because it means there's not much I can't do in terms of focal length, which is brilliant. I'm a really good player and find stuff that I like and find stuff that works and what I want to shoot. So that's the 28mm I got yesterday. So it's a Kenix 28 f2.8. Again, nice little clean lens. No mold, no scratches, no moisture or anything in there. I'm not sure if it's going to focus for us, but yeah, nice little 28mm. And this camera does not want to focus, does it? Whee. No, I'm not going to play games. Oh, anyway. So yeah, nice little 28mm. Movement's all pretty good in it. Nice and smooth, not gritty, no junk in there. All turns pretty nice. The actions are all nice and smooth, which is really good. And screw mount, so that will go straight onto the Pentax as well. Again, with the 2.8 extension tubes, I can do some pretty cool stuff with these. So the 28mm is something I haven't had anything that small, not as a fixed length. I think I've got a few zoom lenses that go down to close to 28, but again, your fixed is going to give you a much better, your fixed focal length give you a much better image quality, so I'm stoked with that one. Telephoto away. So the other one that I was really excited about, other than the 2X telephoto, was this one. Super wide, 0.42 macro. And it really doesn't want to focus, does it? No, not going to focus for us. This thing is sharp. It is clean. I don't think it's ever been used. You can see it's absolutely crystal. There's no mold, no muck, no dust. nothing. It is crystal clear. The body itself is all in brilliant condition. Yeah, it's kind of hunting there, isn't it? Dietz Infra. Never actually used one of these lenses before, but the glass looks really good. Now that's mounted for, you can see there, so I'm going to tell us yet, 52mm. So that will fit onto the majority of my prime lenses that I've got. So for instance, this one, so my little 28mm, I can then put on, I can then screw that onto the front of my 28mm. It's going to look like a clown whilst I'm doing this live. And then use that 28mm as a macro lens. That will go straight under the Pentax Spotomatic, and I get a macro lens. I'm so fucking excited about. I do eventually want to get a macro for my RB67 because I want to do some medium format macro, but for the moment I will be happy with 35mm macro, just film macro in general. So that's probably the first thing I'm going to play with. I'm going to put that on one of my lenses, on probably my best Spotomatic that I've got, load it up with some black and white and have at it with some macro, because it's going to be freaking sick. That one I'm super excited about. Amazing. Like, I haven't seen one like that before. I've actually used the Dietz before. If anyone's ever used Dietz lens, I'm going to do a bit of search on Flickr, see what I can find, see if I can see any sort of footage and tips, tricks, that sort of stuff that other people have used. So that one I'm really excited about. So that'll probably be the first lot of film I put through is that. What else did I get? Tonka. Was it Tonka? Was it this one? Yeah. Tokina, sorry. Tokina Teleauto. Now this is a 135-218. So front lens is a bit filthy. I'm going to give it a quick clean. Again, no visible mold. A grime and grit on the lens. It's not even a lens, it's a filter on the front, so acting as lens protector. The Scarlett 1A, it's not going to focus for me, but the Scarlett 1A. Again, this is a screwback, so that'll go straight into the Pentax, but as you can see, nice and clean. So again, another really clean lens, no sort of grime or grit or mold or anything inside, which is really good. Again, really nice smooth actions on it, no grit. You can hear it's nice and smooth, there's no grit. Even the f-stop connect selection, all nice and smooth. So another really well kept lens, in really good condition. It does have a little pull out shroud, so when you're doing stop your lens flare, which is kind of cool, that it sort of goes back under your focusing ring. So that's another really cool one. Again, there's a lot of fixed focal lengths I noticed in these ones. The 135, the 28, the 400. In this batch of lenses, there's a lot of fixed focal lengths, which is really cool. A lot of the ones I've had previously have been zoom lenses, so they should give me better quality photos. A whole bunch of lenses. That was a Dietz 52mm. Pretty filthy. I'll give that a good clean before I use it. One of the coolest things out of the collection, I love I don't know, it's knick-knacky, like camera knick-knacky stuff. I love odd things for my collection, even if they're not Canon. Obviously, my trying to build my collection based on Canon, just because I love Canon cameras. But I love the cool little things, like the little knick-knacky things you don't see very often. I actually got a couple of different things. This is possibly my favourite thing in my collection now. This little grey case comes with a little key fob, so you can carry it around with you. It doesn't clip anymore, unfortunately. It's supposed to, which back in the day, it actually clips shut. Now, I'm not sure if anyone's actually seen this. So I'm catching the light so you can see it. I'm going to focus for us. So it says is the Gosen 16 down the bottom. 16, there you go. Gosen 16. Now, I've never actually seen one of these, which is kind of shit. I have one at the moment that is a fancy digital computer age one. This is a very old school light meter. Let's see if it's going to focus for us. Come on, focus, damn you. So the way this one works, it has a little cover at the front and a little lever down the side here. When I pull this lever back, you'll see the front opens up. So this is a little light meter. It then has a little needle down the bottom here. Let's see if we can make it move by pointing it towards our lamps. Where are we? Okay. This is a juggling act. So you can see the little needle there. As I turn it away, it swings back. Let's see if we can... Oh, this is a juggling act and a half. Let's see if we can make this work. So you can see... There you go. Okay, where are we? Little needle there. As I cover the light meter, oh, you're going to go back down. So what you do is you point that towards your subject, to where your light is. You then move this so that, turn it the other way. Oh, this is juggling act and a half. We then turn third needle to line up with the meter reading, and we can read off here, and it gives you your f-stop. Let's see if we get to focus. Focus that close, is it? It's not going to like that at all. That gives you f-stop. It's hard to see. I'll take a photo and put it up with my phone. It gives you f-stop here, and it gives you your speed here. So line up what speed you're using, what f-stop you're using, vice versa, and it gives you your little reading. That is seriously one of the coolest little things ever. And it seriously, like I metered it last night, much read my meter, and it's still pretty much spot on. No batteries, no electronics. It's just a photocell inside that works off the little resistor circuit. Man, that is old school electronics. Like that is, I love it both from an engineering, a photography, and an electronics point of view. It's fucking cool. It's seriously one of the coolest things. That is actually probably my favourite thing in my entire collection now. I know simple little things bring joy, but that is possibly my favourite thing in my collection now. It is so freaking cool. So that's my cool little toy. I love that. That's not going anywhere. That is 100% staying in the collection. Up to that point, it was an old flash, which I'll get in a minute and I'll show you. What else did we get in the collection yesterday? So, like I mentioned, I did get, so I got a couple of different flashes. Got some studio flashes, got a whole bunch of like sun packs. Oh, this is actually a, it's a sun pack. Thyrista Auto Zoom 2400. They're actually in pretty good nick. They don't look, they actually look pretty good condition. Old school, you can flick it side to side. It does have an AC plug at the back. It does also have your normal battery compartment, which even the battery compartment doesn't look like it's having any leaks. Probably not be able to see it because it's too dark, but it hasn't any leaks or any acid leaks or anything, so it's been really looked after. And get the new batteries on there as well. So yeah, there's a bit of everything going on. That's in pretty good nick there. So I'll whack some batteries in that and test it out, see how she goes. Did get massive cables. They're actually extenders for wrong end. They are extenders for said flashes so that you can have off-camera flash, which is kind of cool. You can set them into here. Where are we? Which end do I need? One of these ends. So you can set them into onto your flashes, so have off-camera flash. and so like plug them in there, off-camera flash. So you can have it, they're pretty long, so you can stretch it out from camera and have it off to the side. Not too far, obviously. It's not fancy new remote sensor, which that's something else I got yesterday. It's kind of cool, old school remote sensor. Did get an absolute crap ton of filters as well, all manner of sizes and colours and fancy ones that I haven't had in the collection yet, which would be cool to play with. So we got some. So this is the. Speaking of remote flash unit, I've got where I put it. This is a Nissin Synchro Eye slave unit. What was that? Old school remote shooting slave unit. So it's basically a photosensitive cell in the front. Has your little cable connection in the back, so you can then connect that up to your triggers, to your flashes. As one flash goes off, so your on-camera flash for your fill light, for instance, this then will trigger your side lights, your backlight, whatever you have it hooked up to. And I love the augmenting system. There's a suction cap. Cool as that. That is a nifty little thing. Don't see them very often. I've never actually come across one. Know what it is because I've seen them around, but I've never actually come across one in a collection. But yeah, that is cool. I'll try and test that out as well. We'll see how it goes. It comes in. How cool is the little presentation, eh? Not a little jeweler's case. How cool is that? It even has the original box, everything. So it's got the original box and everything for it. So they paid $10.50 from Wallace's back in the day. Look at that, $10.50 from Wallace's. How cool is that? So that's a cool nifty one. So I like these sort of little gimmicks in my collection. It's kind of funky, just fun. But lens wise, so I've got 49 mils. I've got, I think this was just the normal. Oh, that's on one of the lenses. It's empty. So 46 mil. So some random sizes. I've got to check what lenses these fit. This is a softened lens. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this. Might work if I hold up to the camera though. Beauty lens. Ooh. Need to give it a bit of clean because it's a bit frosty, but essentially it's a beauty lens. I'll clean up a bit. So it's, if you look at it, it's got like a crackly appearance on it. It's got like a crackle surface appearance on it. Man, these are filthy. It's in storage for a while, so they got a lot of just grease and air gunk on them. Let's see if I hold this up to the lens, whether it's going to come out alright or not. Essentially, it gives like a softened glow, like a beauty look to it. It's not great, but kind of. Go that way. So it gives a bit of a softened look on the photos. When you look at it in the right light, you can see it's kind of got a crackly appearance on it. So it'll be kind of cool to play with. But again, it's a 46mm. I don't know what lenses I've got that are a 46mm, so we'll have to have a look at that one. We've got got a bunch of 52s. Was the Cinesoft? Before, so I've got 49, so 52mm, which I haven't used these ones before, which I'll be interested to play with. So I've got the yellow filter, got red filter. That's in, so they're both in 52mm, and then I've got a 49mm blue. So blue. It's 49, isn't it? Yeah, 49mm blue. Again, look at them. The cases and everything, they're all brand new. Like, I don't think some of these have ever been used. They even come in the original boxes, which I'll show you in a sec. Then we've got, again, another 49mm. So this is a 49mm close-up lens. Close-up number 4. So this was a perfume. With +4, essentially, it's like a magnifying. There you go, look at that. So it's a almost like a telephoto with it. Not telephoto. It's use a macro. So if you're really up close, you can do it. Use a macro. Have your lens on, and it'll let you get that zoom without having to get up close without killing your focal distance, like your minimum focal distance. That's a +4. I don't know if it's quite ×4, but it's +4. That'd be a cool one to muck around with. And I've got another cool one. This would be a fun one to play with. So this is a center spot. So this one, you gotta remember these are before computer age, so before editing and shit like that, Photoshop. So if you want to ever do your, center and focus, and you want your blur on the outside, you like that center spot. So your center spot will come in clear, and the outside you can see the outside's warped, a little bit magnified. It's heavy cool to play with. I think you come up with some really cool effects with that, especially on macro. Like if I'm doing up close stuff, these are 55mm, so I may have to. So combinations of like this, then on the macro lens. So if I put that on the front of like the 28mm or the probably along like the 135. Get a 135, that on the front of 135, and then the macro on the front of that. You get some pretty funky looks. I don't know. It'd be interesting to muck around with. It'd be very. I'm going to be very antsy waiting for them to come back, because it's going to be a whole bunch of guesswork for some of it to see if it actually works or not, because it's been an absolute shit fight. But we'll see. Yeah, so they all came in. So they're all still in the original boxes. How cool is that? Like, most of the boxes are in good nick. This top one's in pretty shit state, but most of them, especially the grey ones, the what brand were they? The Marumis. The Marumi boxes are all in good nick. Like, they look like they're just off the store shelf. It's a whole bunch of different lenses to muck around with, which is kind of cool. So definitely gonna have a play around with those. I know that I have never used the color lenses before, or the color filters. I know they're good for depending on if you're shooting, what lighting you're shooting, if you're in color, but also when you're shooting black and white, using the different color filters. And black and white can increase, decrease different contrasts and increase different, looks of the film. So I'm probably gonna muck around with that as well. I'm gonna take a lot of notes when I'm shooting, just because it's gonna be hard to keep track of. Like, I know I'm gonna take the photos, I'm going to develop them, I'm going to completely lose track of what photos did, so I'm going to keep a notebook. I'm actually going to go through and essentially each shot, write down the settings, write down what it was, shot 1, shot 2, shot 3, what the settings were, where it was, what the light was like. I'm going to come up with a criteria of stuff that I'm going to keep: lens, camera, cameras are going to be obvious, lens, filters, lighting, settings, stuff like that. Just so I can look back on it, I know what I've done, and unpack some of this stuff away quickly whilst I'm talking. It's just going to make it easy to keep track of stuff and see what's worked, what hasn't. So then when I get the film back, I can okay, cool, so this one's this one's this, and I can see what worked, what didn't, through a bit of trial and error. I can figure out what's going to work and what's not. So there's those ones. What else we got? That's just box number 1. Box number 2. Dude, that I got a lot of this stuff came from a deceased estate. So a lot of the stuff I've got is like really old stuff. He must have, I have no history of it. It was literally sort of donated to one person who then just unsold it and given the money to charity, which is fine. More than happy to pay what I paid for it to pass on in charity. I know some of the stuff is junk and won't be worth a cent, but going to good cause, etc. He must have been either not necessarily professional, but a serious hobbyist. There's enlarging equipment, there's old studio lights, there's like developing equipment, stuff like that. So I got some of these lenses and stuff out the way just to make room. Gonna keep those out. Gonna keep those because I've got to sort out my camera gear anyway, so I'm gonna keep things I'm keeping in the collection. I'm gonna stay there for a minute. And these ones can go down here for a minute. Okay, so original Patterson's developing tank. I do have one of these already sitting in these boxes here. I think it's actually sitting on top of those boxes there. But this is like an original one. Like, it looks brand new off the showroom floor. Everything in it's perfect. Did get 3 spools as well. The spools have obviously been used, so he has done stuff with it. Has been used, but I don't know how much. As you can see, that's the 3 spools. A little bit of discoloration. That could just be age. They're not brittle at all. Like they seem quite. Doesn't unlock for me now. There we go. Got it. They seem. You can see the discoloration, difference in colour. So it could just be age, but the plastic doesn't have brittle. Nothing seems out of whack. Like it all seems still in really good nick. So, and the tank itself looks brand new. It doesn't look like there's no watermarks in it. It hasn't ever been used. So, he may have used it, may not have, but either way, it's like another developing tank, which is cool. Because when I start doing this, I know I'm going to be having multiple things to film and I want to develop at once. So having an extra tank is going to be very, very handy. Considering I can only do one 120 roll at a time. With the 2 tanks, I'll be able to do 2 120s, 4, because I've got a small one like this, but I've got the long one. So I'll be able to do 120 roll in each, or 2 35mm, so 4 35mm, or 2 120s at the same time. Too many numbers. So yeah, the Patterson tank, which is kind of cool. Patterson tank, 3 rails, which is kind of cool. 3 spools. Very, very old school slide and negative viewer. So essentially, you plug it in. There's a little light underneath here, inside there, that shines up through that. You can put your that way. So it sits on your bench like that. You put your negative in here. So you can see on the side here. You feed your negative where you slide in. Push it up. View it through there. And then pull it back out. So you can sort of proof them. And because it's got the light shining through, you'll actually see the inverse of the negative. So you actually see it properly. So kind of cool little thing. Again, don't see stuff like this. Love. Works okay. Love it. It's like, how much stuff did he have that he had to actually label it works okay, as opposed to the ones that didn't work okay. Maybe I need that sticker on me. Works okay. Also got development timer, or enlargement timer. Essentially, plug your enlarging lamp into there. You can set your time, hit go. It counts down and turns the light off. So you can figure out what you need for your paper when you're enlarging and actually printing. Set the right time. It does it all for you. Good old age before computers. It's great. Also, no box, but a enlarging meter. It's a similar sort of thing. So basically plug it in. Has a little light. It's hard to see. If I take the cover off, might be able to see it. It has a little light that shines through there, and you can set, depending on your paper type, the marker, you can see that little gap gets smaller and smaller. Essentially, so you can test the metering of the paper, what the paper's set for, test the metering of your light before you turn it on, before you put your paper in the waste paper. So you can get it all set up, make sure it's all good. Essentially meter the light from your enlarging light, and then print it. You know it's all going to be good. So you have to do it's basically a dry run to your printer. A few little random things. Focus scope, same thing for focusing your meter, your light on the board from the meter, your enlarging. This one, not sure what I'm going to do with this. It's kind of cool. It's cool in the collection, but you can't get paper for it anymore. There was a Kickstarter going around which I've had a look and I found them, but saying they're out of stock. I'm going to try and contact them and see if they are actually going to create paper again, called one something, one shot, one film, one photography, one image. I can't remember. It was one something. Basically, I have to contact them. They did as a Kickstarter to bring back pack film, because it's not like the other film that you get these days for the Polaroid cameras. I'm hoping I can get it because the thing is in freaking brilliant condition. Like, it's in really good nick. Try and open it up for you. It's hard to do in midair. There we go, got it. So you can see the bellows is in really good nick. Like, the thing's in really good condition, other than the plastic looking a little bit aged, which you could be able to clean up quite easily. The whole thing's in really good nick, all completely functional. All completely functional, everything kind of works. All your little light meters and adjusters all work nice and smooth. You're supposed to clicks across the top, it's actually a solid setting. The focus meter works, everything kind of works. So it'd be sucky if I can't even get a couple of shots through it. I would really love to. I think it'd be kind of cool. You don't find these very often. When you do, they're not worth a lot because you can't get paper for them very easily. Even the back, even the back's still really clean. Man, I fucking love it. It's so metal. It's so good. But you see, even the back's really clean. Like, there's no deterioration. There's no mucking around. Everything's nice and clean. It works smooth. There's a little bit of grease on a little bit of rust, or there's not rust, just a bit of grease and grime on the edge rolls, which would be easy to clean up. But they're just so cool. Like, you just don't find these anymore. But I would love to try. I'm going to try and get in contact with this company to see if if they're going to be doing it, because it's just back in stock later. I'm hoping they haven't stopped making it, because fuck, that stuff's cool. If I can get even a few things, because they're old school, they're like medium format film, like negatives. They're fucking huge. They're so cool. This is one of the other things we got. The Universal Licht für Foto und Film. Cinema Universal Lamp for Still. CIMA Universal Lamp for Still and Movie Cameras. The CIMA 1000. There's actually two of these. The other boxes, about the same. Essentially, they're all hot films. You're gonna love it. It has actually got a tripod mount at the bottom, so you can mount it. Old school. Hot lamps. How cool is that? It even has a warning on the back. Reflector door must be turned down at least 30 degrees below horizontal before switching on. Do not use for more than 4 minutes. Allow lamp to cool down before reusing. Imagine how freaking hot that thing's going to get. If it even got a warning on the back that says don't use it for more than 4 minutes. My lord. Using that in a studio, you'd be sweating like God knows what. You'd be absolutely sweating balls. Big old halogen lamp in there. How cool's that? Haven't actually turned them on yet. I'm not going to do it. Probably do it outside. It's a little bit safer. Just in case something goes pop. Has got a modern plug. Connector, everything. So it's got a switch on it, so we'll give them a shot one day. We'll see how they go. There's actually two of those. It's kind of cool. Probably not something I'll keep. I'll test them, make sure they work. It's probably something that's going to sell off. I'm not sure how good the light is from it. I have got my big Chrome stuff anyway, so I don't really need them. It's cool to find something that probably won't keep in the collection. I'll probably get sold off or passed on. What else have we got here? Do have a starting photography by Michael Langford. That's kind of cool. So just for those that have no idea what's going on, some basics, everything about composition, to how to load film, to how to develop, to how to light, everything in between. It's kind of cool. I'll actually put that in my collection. I have a collection of photography books, so I'll put that in there. And to go with old Polaroid, there's actually a flash for. Where focus is it? Oop, it just doesn't like focusing, does it? It's actually, you can't read it, but it does say Polaroid. It's actually official Polaroid model 268. Little flash in it, it's a little weird little plug for it and stuff. Actually clips onto the Polaroid 220. So it clips onto there, there's a little thing, spot on the side it clips onto. Has old school lens. If you can see it, it's gonna be hard to see. Essentially the lens is full of see if you can see that. No, hard to see. Essentially it's full of like really fine steel wool. So I think it's a one-shot wonder. Lonia M3. I don't think you'd use it more than once. I'd say it'd be a one-shot wonder. Yeah, I can't quite see it, can you? It's essentially two elements that link up to a whole bunch of really fine steel wool to give you a flash, so kind of funky. I'm not going to shoot it off because I don't want to go wasting it. It's the only one that's in there. So it clips back in there, so it's kind of cool one to go with the Polaroid. So I'll pop these away. There was a whole bunch of other just random stuff. Ooh, a whole bunch of other random stuff in there, which it's just junk. You'll always get that in estate sales. You'll always get that in estate sales. You just get a whole bunch of crap that just it's no good to anyone. So what I'm going to do is go through what I have got now. Need to figure out what I've got in terms of what lenses I want to keep, what cameras I want to keep, what stuff I want to keep and what I want to get rid of, basically. Film photography is coming back, so if I can hand it off to people that are going to have more use for some of the stuff that's just sitting there collecting, I will. I'd rather have stuff that I'm just going to be using rather than collections for collecting stuff, but they all need to work and they all need to be good. So that's a so what I'll do, I'll grab all my cameras out, I'll show you what I've got in the collection so far, and I'll go through all the lenses and figure it out. So that Pentax is the same as that mount, I'm pretty sure. I've got a couple of different Pentax, which I'll keep several of. So I've got Pentax Spotobank, which I've showed you before. Pentax Spotobank number 2, which is in Dyneat Clean. about the Pentax Spotomatic? What do you know? My lord, this collection is growing. So, 3 Pentax Spotomatics. So I've got, this is actually my original Spotomatic I got when I was 4. This is my dad's old one, so this is old. This is the first camera I ever shot on. This is never going anywhere. This will live in my collection forever and a day, and I'll use it constantly. It's the first camera I ever shot on. It's the first camera I ever owned. It got handed down to me, I think it was like early teens, really. I was allowed to start playing with it. In pretty good nick, has a few little spots that need to be cleaned. There's one little rust spot starting up there that I need to clean up and just kind of dip. Beautiful camera. Everything works amazing on it. It has the 55mm 1.18 on it. 1.8, sorry. That'll stay on there. That's just, it works beautifully on it. I will muck around. This is probably what I'm going to for the moment. I'm going to muck around with the new 800, the 400mm, and all the other lenses I've got. This is probably what I usually want to stay with unless I get an adapter for my Canon. So I've got like 3 of these Spotomatics. They must have just been the camera of the day. Well, they were back in the day. So I've got that one. I've got this one that came from my grandfather-in-law. Desperate need of a clean. You take the lens off. See, look at the back of that. That is disgusting. It's not actually mold, it's dust. Could be partly mold. The camera itself looks fine though, which is the funny thing. The camera itself, it's got a bit of like deterioration, not deterioration, but like dust and dirt. Just a good clean it up. But the actual like internals still look really good. So I don't know, it's only on the lens, so I have to get on top of that. I'll clean that in the next couple of days. Just want to get on top of the camera stuff, but I'll clean that in the next couple of days. I've then also got really doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's seating right. That's a concern. That is a real concern. It's bottoming out, but it's not locking in. I'm going weird with that. I'm going to have a look into that one. So that's Spotomatic number 2. And Spotomatic number 3. Again, it's a bit dirty on the top, needs a good clean. Mechanically, everything works fine. So again, Spotomatic has a 55 on it, 1.18. It's just the standard kit lens that came with them all. One of these has a really loose lens. What's this one? Oh, that's one of them. Yeah, yeah, that could be why that one's not sitting properly. It's got a busted up lens on it, like it's just shitted. So I'll have to get rid of that. I can probably just replace it with one of these ones and throw that lens out. It's no good to anyone. Again, this one needs a clean as well, I think. Lens itself's pretty clean. The foam inside looks pretty clean. It's, yeah, not in bad condition. It's just a good clean, so I don't really need 3 Spotomatics, so I think they're good cameras, but just don't think I need 3 of them. Like, they're kind of standard. They were standard back in the day, but not something I need 3 of. So you can see here, so that's the lens that I said shut itself. They're not supposed to walk around like that. So that lens pretty much cactus. So I'll find another one to replace that. I'll replace the lens probably, and just sorting off to the side of the camera so I can actually fit on the camera gear up here. I'll find a lens to replace that one. That camera should still be okay, but I'm going to run a lens. I'm going to run a film through all of them just to test them all out, see what they're all like. Basically, the camera doesn't go in my collection unless it works. It's on my golden rules. So the other Pentax I have is the ME Super. So it's this little gem. So I'll be keeping this one as well because it's a cool little Pentax. This one they start getting a little bit fancy. Starts having like little auto meter modes and auto speed modes. Again, you can full manual. Mechanics again, really good. Turn the speed up a bit. So really good mechanically. Lens still really good. 50mm 1.7, so cool little lens on there. Nice and clear. Everything's still really good. Very light tight. No sort of issues with light or light leaks or anything. So I'll be keeping this one in the kit for sure. That's a nice little one. So again, screw mount. I can't remember if it's screw mount or the bayonet. Good question. I think it's the bayonet fitting from memory. Yeah, so bayonet fitting. I think it's the same as the newer Pentax I just picked up. Where are we? I think it's the same mounting system. Yeah, it looks it. Yeah, it is. So you can fit the newer lenses as well, which is kind of cool. So they fit on there. But I do like this little 55mm. It's a nice little snubby lens too. Like it's not a super big lens. Makes the whole camera very compact. It's even more compact than the actual whole camera itself is a little bit smaller than the Spotomatic. So you can see this Spotomatic's a little bit, the Spotomatic's a little bit more chunky. Lens is about the same. Like you see, just overall it's just a smaller camera. Which yeah, I really like it. It's kind of cool. Makes it very good for walking around because it's that tiny little bit smaller. Fits nicely in your hand. These are a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. They're an older camera, so you expect that. So yeah, that's the ME Super. So yeah, nice little thing. Again, actions are nice and sharp. Focusing's nice and smooth. Love the little camera. So I'll be keeping that one. It's getting ridiculous off to the side here. I'll have to show you the cameras all sitting on the side of them in a minute. You know, I think a bit of a problem. Also in my collection, so I've obviously got my big Canon digitals. I've got, has my macro lens on at the moment, but I've got my EOS 300. Can't quite see it. That's an old film camera. Again, this is the first camera I bought was an EOS 300. So I got given the Spotomatic when I was younger. This is actually the first camera I bought myself. Obviously didn't buy with the macro lens back then. It was just kit lenses mucking around. Fun little camera, super easy to use, really good for the first timers if you're looking at getting into analog or film photography and you don't want to muck around manual settings stuff, you just want to put film in and shoot. These are a really good one. You can pick them up off eBay and Gumtree and Facebook and shit for a couple $100. Unfortunately, because film's coming back, people are asking more and more for them these days for good condition ones, but you can still pick them up for a couple $100 with, you know, the kit lenses and stuff in pretty good nick. They're cool little cameras. Literally just pop it in, off you go. They're fun, do everything for you. Just work on auto mode if you want, point and shoot. Nice little portables. So that's probably my newer. That's the newer of my Canons. I do have this one that I picked up secondhand as well. Little Canon Prima. So I don't know if it's got batteries. Probably not. No, dead flat. So again, yeah, batteries are flat. That's okay. Probably even squeeze one in there now. But 38mm, little point and shoot. Takes some better photos actually. Again, a good one for kids. Good one if you're getting into it. Literally just point and shoot. Not as much functionality as the EOS. If you do want to grow with it, but you can just, if you just want something to muck around with, analog photography, film photography, really good one to get in. Literally open up, point, shoot, zoom from 28 to 70. Being non-digital, it's all in the lens, so it's not a fixed up, not a fake zoom. Does have a few little, funky little modes on the back. You got your sport mode, your macro mode, your landscape mode. It does have night portrait as well. So again, it'll just adjust. You don't have to think about it. You just point and shoot. Canon, so it's staying in the kit. It's staying in the collection. It's not going anywhere. And then my older Canon is this beast here, the old Canon FT. Weighs an absolute freaking ton. The thing is solid as a rock. Take the lens off. Lens cap is a screw-on. That's how old school it is. You don't see too many screw-on lens caps these days, I can tell you what. So this has got the 50 1.4 on it. All standard Canon, just the kit lens that came with it. Not going to focus, but yeah, nice clean lens, nice clean kit. The camera itself is still in really good condition. I actually got this one from my grandfather-in-law as well. Yeah, things in really good nick. Like, it's beautiful. All your seals and everything in the back are all still in really good condition as well. Upside down. So all the seals, all the mirrors, everything's all still in really good condition. So this is the one I'd be using primarily when I'm doing my 35mm shoots. Just because it's an fuck around. I love Canon. I know how good they are. I know how durable they are. I know this takes good photos, and it will take good photos for many years to come. Again, nice smooth action on the lens. No grit, no clinkies, no chunks. It's all nice and smooth. Can set auto manual for your focusing, for your aperture. And also inside everything's nice and clean as well. So it's all good as you're gonna get. Shot up straight off the shelf. Man, it doesn't want to focus, does it? So that's probably my favourite. It's one of. They're probably going to be my two main 35mm. The Spotomatic and the FT. So those two. Probably say those two and the Pentax FT will probably be my other one. Sorry, the ME. That'd be my three 35mm that sort of get used the most. Whether I keep the other Spotomatics and stuff, I don't know. I don't see the use for it. I've got that good Spotomatic. Whether I keep, I don't see the point in it. Much as it kill me to get rid of them, I just don't see the use in keeping them. I'll probably keep the digital Pentax. I'll see how it goes. I'll probably get rid of it. I've got the Canon EOS. I've got the EOS 300, so I don't need another sort of semi-computerized 35mm, because I've got the Canon that I'd prefer to use it anyway. If I was going to use one, I'd use the EOS. I wouldn't use the Pentax. So I'll probably get rid of that too. Just want to test it, put a roll of film through it so it's easy to sell. So I can show, hey, put film through it. Some of the cool old stuff that I picked up at Op Shops. Instamatic Kodak, the 56X. Now this takes the old, spool film. It used to be the cartridge. You put the whole cartridge in rather than 35mm that rolls along. I have seen somewhere online you can buy conversion packs, so you can actually put a 35mm roll into like a 3D printed spool, put it in there and then do it, and then obviously wind it back, develop it like normal at 35mm. Try and look into that because you can't actually buy the cartridges anymore. So I want to have a look into it and see if that works. Don't understand the collection anyway. It's just a cool little funky plastic, all plastic, very loose. You can hear it's got that movement in the back, so I don't know how light proof it's going to be, but we'll see. Everything's nice and plastic. Like, honestly, everything other than, I think the only thing that's not plastic is that. And the hook on, I think the shutter button and the hook's bit, anything that's not plastic and the whole thing. Cost me a whole $15. Bargain buy. So there we go. There's literally no focusing, no adjustment, nothing. It's literally just blind, shoot. So nice simple one. What else have we got? So this is a these are German made, the Regulette, German made little chunk. Never actually put a film through it. Is 35mm. See these around every now and again. In pretty good nick. Like it's still in pretty good working order. So it seems to be pretty light proof. There's no seals as such, just like the overlapped grooves in the door. So I'd be curious to see how light proof it is. The only issue with this, I've got to see if I can, so you can see that the actual plastic itself broke. I think it was just in transport moving house to house. I'm gonna see if I can dismantle at least partly. I think it's more like $10, $15 on Topshop, so it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna see if I can somehow glue, like keep that up, glue it in place so that it's gonna still work. Whether I've got to sleeve it or something, but I'm gonna see if I can just repair that and then I'll run a film through it. Looks pretty good internal, pretty clean. Lens looks pretty clean. Everything works. You've got a massive selection of bulb. I'm sure it's going to show it. Focus that. You got a massive selection of bulb, 25, 50, or 200 shutter speed. That's it. And then you have the choice between 2.8 up to 16 for your f-stops. So you just slide your little piece there, and then you focus using the outer ring. Sorry, shutter speed's there, outer ring for focusing. And it does have, if you look at the front, I'm not sure if it's going to let you see it, but it does have your focusing just around inside. You can see your focusing distances in the outside, and it's got your f-stops down here, depending on what you want to do. Kind of cool little thing. Very simple. Part metal. Looks metal. Could be. I think it could just be a dipped plastic actually. It's chrome plated plastic, but yeah, nice simple again. And then shutter. Real technical. So, but the fact you can go from like a bulb to 200, so 200 is pretty quick. Or you can do bulb. So, yeah, funky little thing. No, the lens itself looks pretty clean. There's no mold or anything in it, so I don't know. You wouldn't get much for it, so I don't know if it's worth selling, to be honest. Don't know if it'd be worth selling, so it could just be one that stays in there because, well, why not? Goodness, even manually wind, yeah. Just noticed. Don't know if it's. Don't know. No, it does. So normally when you open the shutter case, the shot counter's on the bottom. Normally when you open your recase, resets it, but you've actually got to manually spin it to get it back. That's pretty funny. So if you forget to do it, get halfway through, right? Shit, how many photos have I taken? You're not gonna have any fucking idea. That's pretty funny. So that's the Regulette. I then have this is one of two of my medium format cameras. if you haven't had one of these and you're mucking out medium format, what the fuck are you doing with yourself? You need to get one of these. Holga. These were sold in like the 80s as a toy camera. They're literally all plastic, like 100% plastic. There's nothing metal in them. I'm pretty sure the lenses are even plastic. It could be glass. Lens still glass, but like literally you have the choice when you're focusing of mountain range, group of people, 2 people, 1 person. That's your focusing ranges. Go figure. Can turn. Flash is either, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. You can see the little pitches in there, little sunshine, so no flash, or what is it, overcast, and a little lightning bolt for the flash. Flash you literally do from inside. I'll take it apart and show you. These are the most basic of basic cameras. They're funny as hell. They're pretty cool actually. I have put a roll of film through this. It turned out interesting. Didn't turn out horrendous. So when you take your back off, so it's little clips on the side that you slide down either side. Back comes off completely. So you have this little insert depending on what you want to shoot. You can take it out. There's one you can do. So there's a 16 roll. So this is set up at the moment for square, so 12 photos. There's one you can take that is longer. That's where you put your batteries for your flash. It's on the window. It's so pox. It's so shit and cheap. Like they used to sell these things as like a toy. These days they're fucking worth an absolute stupid amount of money for what they are. Because people are like, oh my god, they're so simple and they're so cute and hip and funky and let's get them. You can see, so your trigger is here, wind on there, and then trigger on there. You can actually see the whole action. So wind. I'm not going to wind because you just literally wind until you see the next number in the window at the back. It hasn't got like a ratchet that stops at a certain spot. You just got to wind it and hope you wind it right properly. Then when you pull it down, literally just shoots through. You can do N, I'm assuming normal, B for bulb, so you can click it down and then hold. When you pull it down, hold it down, open, close, so you can do bulb exposures. How freaking cool is that? So you have the choice of 1 people, 2 people, many people, or a mountain, and either whatever shutter speed whatever shutter speed that wants to go at, or as long as you want. So that's as manual as you're going to get. You're not going to get much more manual than that. Put a little insert back in. But yeah, you can pick what. Put that back in the right way. You can kind of pick what film you're using, or not what film you're using, sorry, what size negatives you're going to use. So I've got this up to 6, that takes 12. I've got the square, so it takes 12 shots for a 120 roll. Or you can set, so you can set them back here, so you can see 12 or 16, depending on what you want. And you push it up when you look on the back of 120 film, so you can see the window just changes. When you look on the back of 120 film, there's numbers that line up, depending on what size shots you're using, or what size negative you're creating, because some will be a 6x6, some will be a 6x7. 6x7 obviously you're going to get less shots, so if you get it set to 12 shots, you're going to do 6x7 because you're going to use more of the film. 6x6 you can do shorter, so you can do more, you can do 16 shots. Yeah, that is about as basic as you can get. That's staying in there. I'm going to do another roll through there properly, just to put another roll through because it's funny as shit. I do have a multitude. Of box brownies and stuff as well. I've got like 3 box brownies. I'll grab them down because I'll take a photo of all my collection now I've got it out. Stuff out of the way. Just getting these ones out of the way for the minute. Oh Lord. It's a lot of cameras. This is probably the next, after the Holga, this is probably my next technical photo camera. I'll point it. It's actually a disposable camera. Picked up like Big W for like $5 or something stupid. I have actually have the film. Finished off the other day, so I'm getting that developed. But I have no idea how that's going to turn out. It's color negative. High quality color negative. You know it's going to be good if it says high quality. There's gonna be a whole bunch of interesting to see what that comes out as. But yeah, got that just for the hell of it. Can reload it. I've actually figured out how you can put the film back in, unspool it, and actually use it again. So it's like, I might as well keep in the collection. It's something stupid. These are my box brownies, so I'd tell a lie. The Spotomate was the second camera I ever got given. This was the first camera I ever got given. So this was the box brownie of my grandparents. I can't for life remember at the moment. I'm pretty sure it came from my dad's side. Freaking box brownies, man. Like old school, wind it on. Same sort of thing as the Holga. It's funny. It's basically the same principle as the Holga. So you've got two settings for your shutter. Shutter is that one there. So you either hold it open, or every time you flick it, it releases. So you can see, open it up, actually see, well, it's going to work on camera. It's to be really, really shit. It won't work at all, but we'll see how we go. Open for me now, it's gonna make a liar out of me. Just so funny, do I? Why is it not unlocking? It's gonna make a liar of me now. I actually think the spool's stuck. I actually have film in there. I might actually have film in there at the moment. Give me a second. So the reason I say that, can see paper through there. Now I know I was thinking of putting film through here. Interesting. Yeah, it's not twisting. Feels like there's tension on the spool. So basically, that's your winder there, your film winder. You wind that till you saw your number come up in little viewfinder. Hit your trigger, wind it, go on the next one. When you take it apart, this little piece is supposed to pull out, but I'm not waiting to come out, and I'm not going to force it because I'm going to break it. Like I was saying, this is the first one I ever got. I'm going to have a look at it off camera and figure out what the fuck's going on with it. This is actually the first camera I ever got given. I was thinking about putting 120 film through it. I have a funny feeling I have. I've forgotten. It's a bit of a head scratcher. I've got that box brownie. I've got a slightly different box brownie. Same principle. This one unclips at the back, comes down. There's your viewfinder. You can't get much more simple than these. So essentially, this comes out. The front carriage comes out. So that's your spool in there. So you can load your film up. Spool sits on top, loads through, over the rollers, down, loads into the bottom there. Pop it back in. Love it. All metal. Clear it back up. Wind. Take photo. This one's a little bit older. It does have a little selector up here. Depending on your aperture, you can pull that down. You can pull that depending on whether you want bulb or not. So if we go to bulb, you can see there by moving that little lever, changes the aperture. How cool is that? Old school slide. Got the small, medium, large aperture. How cool is that? That's pretty funky. Literally one element in the back. It's essentially a pinhole camera. That down. That's it. Clicks through. Man, I wouldn't even. Old Spring, you're probably like a 1/60th frame rate. Pull that little lever back up again, that one there, and you get a bulb mode. The reflection is the one element. That's it. Stupidly simple. Can't get any more straightforward than that. It does have a hole on the side, which I'm assuming would probably have once been like a strap mount. Because I think that one doesn't. That one did. Probably if it was like an old strap mount or something, probably put a bit of tape or blue tack or something in there just to stop any light leaks. I'm curious again to run the film through that one. And this one, so you actually go up in size, so we've gone from that one, that I think may have film in it still, to this one, to even older again, this one. This is the big beast. Exactly the same principle. Has the two adjustments on top, depending on what you want to do. Little winder on the side, and shutter. Still works. I don't know how well it works. It's steel box itself is still good. So let's see if we get a bulb. Where are we? You can see it's still there. Lens is not the cleanest, but I'm probably going to do a cotton one, to be honest. The things come off, they've taped over the top, but it's literally a fine piece, but it is that old. I can't bring myself to get rid of it. Let's see again. Take this stuff out. Same sort of setup as the other one, just a big brother. Little spool in the bottom, everything's all ready to go. Just the big brother, the other one. So, yeah, I want to put a 123 on this 120 film. I want to put 123 just to say I've done it. Just to say it's been used. The other one. I figured I was going with a box brownie because I think there's film in it. I have to figure out how to get it out because it seems to be stuck. This one I inherited as well. This is an old Kodak, I think it was, yeah, Eastman Kodak Co. This is about as basic as they get. Don't even know what sort of film it used, to be honest. So it's got a little cam lock on the bottom. You switch that over to unlock. Unlocks the top. Top comes out. So this is old. There is a few cracks and stuff on it, so I'll be really gentle with it. Looks like it's potentially a 35mm. It's actually not even 35mm because it's like 35mm won't fit. It's sitting up proud of that surface, so it actually wouldn't fit in the case. I don't know what film this is. I really don't. It's something similar to a 35, just smaller. Let's see if I try and fit that in there. Yeah, it's not going to fit. It has an old spool on this side. It almost looks like it'd be, some sort of a old school like 120, just a smaller format. I'm going to look into it more. So your little spool on there, you can see a little slot. So you obviously new film in this side, feeds around the back. So it rolls, it's just literally round corners into the spool on the side, wind on. Little exposure window there. Mechanics are very, very simple as well. You literally have shutter or shutter. There's no shutter speeds, no even an aperture setting, nothing. This is about as basic as you'll get. So put that back on, or lock it back up. Your viewfinder, this is the cool bit. Viewfinder's a little spring-loaded bit at the top. And old school gun sights. So literally just, bent there somewhere, and we got a photo. How cool is that? Same sort of thing, little viewing window. So you'd wind this on till you see the number come across. So I'm assuming it'd be some sort of a smaller format, like a 120 type film, like the paper films, as opposed to a cartridge. So that's all of my cameras. There's a lot of cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, including the number now, which is my pride and joy. My RV67 medium format. It's actually not really a walk around film. You can, I love the fact it's got a strap mount, so you can walk around with it. You can't walk around with this thing. It weighs a freaking ton. It's like 3 kilos. All metal, all mechanical. Medium format. Hasn't got film at the moment, but absolute tank freaking camera. Suppose it's meant for studio work. Shoots. Don't think it has on that side. So go on this side. Shoots. Yeah, 6x7s. You can see on the side, or 6x6, depending on how you want to frame it. 6x6. Oh, sorry, 6x7 or 6x8, depending on how you want to set it up. You can do both landscape and turn it. I haven't got enough hands to do it, but you can turn it into portrait. Very stiff because it's got a nice tight seal. You can do portrait by turning it sideways and literally just turning the film sideways. This thing's an absolute tank. I fucking love it. I want to try and do macro work with this, but I haven't got. I've got a 9. I've got a 180mm lens. I'd love to get like a macro attachment or a macro lens for it. It'd be freaking sick. So 21 cameras if you include this beast of a thing. Yeah, I got a bit of a problem. So that's all my cameras. I will go through my lenses later in another video, because I've been going on for an hour and 40. Who knew I could talk for that long and have no one listen? I'm going to go through my lenses later because I need to go and organise dinner. I'm starting to get hungry. But there you go, 21 cameras, guys. I need to filter them out because I don't think I need 21 cameras. I'm probably going to keep the Canons, definitely. The old cameras, definitely, but I'm probably going to get rid of some of the, like the Pentax, the newer Pentax 35mm, and probably the old Spotomatics, because I don't need 3 Spotomatics. One Spotomatic is fine; it will do the job. Considering I've got the Canon and the Super, the ME Super, the Pentax ME Super. So it'll be the Pentax Spotomatic, the Pentax ME Super, the Canon FT, the Canon 300D. Probably my main 35mm cameras, and then obviously the box brandies I'll keep. The medium format, obviously big old Mamiya RB67 and my Holga just for mucking around. And I've got, I didn't show you this one. This is the other little Pentax I've got. This one's actually a really good freaking little camera. Pentax SBO 105 SW. Freaking great little point and shoot. It's amazing. 28 to 105mm zoom lens. Again, really good entry level. These ones are a little bit more expensive these days, hard to find. Just because the lens and stuff in it, they're actually a little bit harder, a little bit more expensive. I think I've been seeing them on like Facebook and Gumtree and shit for like $300-$350, which is ludicrous. I paid about $15 at the op shop for this thing a few years ago. Most curiously, this roll of film was in it when I bought it, and it was part shot. I'm getting that developed soon. No idea what the freaking it was going to be on it. 24 shots, and I've taken about 14 of them. So there's 10 shots on there that I have no idea what the previous owner took photos of. That could be interesting. We'll soon find out. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one to figure out what's on there. But yeah, that's a cool camera. I actually really quite dig it. It's nice. It's all pretty solid build, and that is the super clean version too. Like it's mint condition. So yeah, 21 cameras. That's a lot of cameras. I got to go through lenses and sort lenses out too, because I got a lot of lenses that I don't know what I'm doing with them. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna check off. It's an hour and 45 minutes into this stream, so I think you've listened to me more than enough. I'll try and put some time markers on there, just so you can go through and see if you're particularly interested in one sort of camera. I'm going to go and pack all this stuff away and get some dinner. Talk to you later, guys.